Here's the kicker, Jake Elliott, ready to get this one started. And off we go from Lincoln Financial Field. And that's not going to be returned, as so many kicking teams elect to do. This is past the landing zone, and we'll start at the 30. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Green gap. Chop, 17. Ready.
First rep of the game for Josh Jacobs. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early, because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
2nd down, Jacobs once more. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Not too many more ideal situations at 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
Slide through. Here we go. Here we go. Cut, cut.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he'll be taken down at about the 45.
Hurry.
Ball spotted at the 45. Here's 2nd and 6. They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5. Here now, 3rd and a yard. Trying to run for it with Jacobs. And he will have the first down as he gets this to the 47. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
They did tell us they wanted to establish a ground game early, didn't they?
They did, and a small sample size that we've seen so far, but pretty good return.
Yeah, you got to like that. They've strung together a couple of first downs, established what they wanted, the running game. And guess what? They also got their lead guy running it pretty well, too.
And he is out of bounds inside the 35. 14 yards, good for a Packer first down. So after several rushes to start the game, Charles, they go to the air there and get a nice completion.
Nice mix-up on the play calling, right? Establish the running game, make the defense think you're going to do it again, and then hit them over the top. Now you've got them betwixt and between. They don't know which way you're going to come at them.
Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. Nolan Smith brings him down on the pass rush. I think a lot of time when we see a sack, you say, well, you blame it on the offensive line, the quarterback, but here, maybe you just tip your hat to the defender. What a play.
Yeah, and I think sometimes they just get a sense of the play before the ball's even snapped. Kind of like a sprinter anticipating the gun in a race. They're off, and guess what? The quarterback's down.
Love going to give it up on the touch pass. And he's just going to run right into that big old defensive end, and that play going nowhere. It'll be a loss of 2, maybe 3 on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
Here we go. Snag it. Ready.
Now Love. Down the right sideline. And down to the 7-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. No score after 1 on EA Sports. The Packers with the football here to begin the 2nd quarter as they go to work on a 1st and goal.
Let's go now.
Slot man moves right. Love going to give it up on the touch pass. And they will score. It's a Packer touchdown. Bo Melton, a 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Packers post the first points of the ball game as they take the lead here in this 2nd quarter. McManus's point after is good, and it's now a 7-0 game. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10. Right at the 30. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Hurts fumbles it, and the Packers pick it up. He may go. And he will bring this one back. A fumble return for a Green Bay touchdown. So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. From the gun, it's Hurts. And that'll be incomplete.
But there's an incompletion, partner, and the struggles through the air continue because so far their lack of passing production has led to a lack of points.
Over the middle here to Brown. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. Here's Hurts to throw. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle is made at the Packers' 31-yard line. Well, forget the run on 3rd and 1. They shock the D and rip off a pretty big play. So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10. Down at the 31. Got a man. It's Brown. And he'll wind up getting about 6 out of that, as that's going to lead us to the 2-minute warning. So the completion good for 6 yards, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Hurts sets up to throw it. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts. So as they talk it over, we step aside. So after that sack, Hurts and the Eagles, tough spot here, 3rd and long. They'll look to throw here. And that is incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
They're going on 4th down with Hurts. That is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Jahan Dotson, 35 yards. And the Eagles' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. And on that one, able to catch it, also able to have the wherewithal to take it in for the score.
And how about the phases of a successful catch and a completion of a play? Look the ball in, secure the catch, and then, of course, the run after the catch that ends up in the end zone.
Elliott good on the extra point, and that'll make our score 14-7. Now, after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. They're starting to pull away with this one. Early on that first quarter, they didn't look so great offensively. What has changed?
Sometimes it's just a matter of doing what you plan to do better. Sometimes you just put that all together and you execute. Other times, it's just in a simple adjustment in your game plan,
finding a spot that maybe was a little weaker than maybe you thought, and going to that. So many different things, so many different ways, but right now, you got to like what they're doing. They have put distance between themselves and their opponent.
Looking to add on here in the second quarter. And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to third down. Here's Love. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on third down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
That could be the stop this defense needed to get them back on track. They've been pretty well dissected by the offense here in the first half. After that possession, now they know that they can compete with this offense.
Ready. Right, 97.
Love to throw for it on fourth. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And now possession will go over inside the 15-yard line. And he'll get this underneath, dropping it off for Barkley. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Ball on the 8. It's 2nd and 4.
Come on, set. Go.
Oh, they're going to run a little pop pass here. And he's able to get this down to the 5-yard line before he's out of bounds. 4 yards on the play, and that leads to the 1st and goal.
Great, set.
They'll try and run for it with Barkley. And he's in for an Eagles touchdown. Saquon Barkley, a 5-yard touchdown run. And the Eagles are an extra point away from tying the ball game here in the final minute of the first half. Elliott good with a PAT. And that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And with 40 seconds to go, that's, you'd think, time enough to try to mount a drive should they decide to do so. This complete to the tight end, Tucker Kraft. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half.
Down. Field, black. Drill, green. Hut.
To throw now, here's Love. Steps away to his left. And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
Here we go. Strike 2. Ready.
Throwing. Love. That's taken in by Kraft. Now the Packers going to burn their 3rd and final timeout. So as they talk it over, we step aside.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Hut.
To pass, here's Jordan Love. And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. Tucker Kraft from 21 yards away. And the Packers will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half. Extra point from McManus is good. And the lead is now 21-14. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll...
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
Following the interception, Love. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. Touchdown, Packers. Jaden Reed as the first half is winding down. And the Packers will extend their lead here just before halftime. McManus's point after is good. And the lead now up to 14. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. It's the Eagles ready to see the football first, and they trail here as we resume action in this third quarter. And we will not see a return of the dynamic kickoff, and the first drive of the second half will commence from the 30-yard line. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. What's the game plan, Charles, for the second half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people will think losing equals passing the ball more, but I'd establish the running game. They kind of went away from it in the first half. I think if they get back in balance, it'll help them when they put the ball back in the air.
And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Throwing is Hurts. Hard throw, incomplete.
Well, if they have any designs of getting back into this football game in the second half, they're going to need to be much sharper offensively than they were on this opening possession. Not much happening here, and it'll lead to a fourth down.
Still just the third quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on fourth. They're going to try and throw. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Packers are going to get the football back in excellent field position. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Ready, ready.
And now Love going to change things up. Jacobs going to try the middle. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
The way things have gone in this one, the running game's been something of an afterthought, and that's not been too bad for them, has it?
Yeah, the offensive returns have been good, but I guess we figured he in the ground game would be a bit more involved.
43 rail.
The slot man in motion right. They'll get it forward to him on the touch pass. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Let's go now.
And they'll send the slot in motion left. Love going to give it up on the touch pass. And they will score. It's a Packer touchdown. His second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Packers take a 3-touchdown lead.
Here we go.
Now receiver in motion left. Love going to give it up on the touch pass. And he's going to be hit and taken down in the backfield. Just nowhere to run that time. And the try for 2 is snuffed out. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback, and we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line.